Hi everybody, welcome back to the SeeSaw. It is Saturday and that means grocery shopping day. So I've just got back. I went to Tesco's today. So typically how I plan for grocery shopping is if I only need a couple of things that I know I won't find at Aldi, in terms of things I know they never have, like some of the branded items or particular ingredients, then I'll still go to Aldi and then I'll pop across the street to Sainsbury's when I'm done and pick up anything I couldn't get. But when there are a number of things that I know I won't find at Aldi, then I tend to go to Tesco. So Tesco's in our town is out of town. It's a superstore. It's usually open 24/7 in normal times. So it's a big store. I can usually find everything I want. And I have to say today, the first time in weeks, I've actually found everything I went to buy today. Did notice that still baking stuff like flour and stuff, that shelf was empty, although there was plenty of sugar, and some of the other things that have been like canned goods, soups and canned beans and canned vegetables, all of those things, their shelves were full. So that seems to have sorted itself out, the supply chain for those things. And then it's a little bit just outside the city centre, there's the Aldi with Sainsbury's opposite. And then in the city centre, there's a Waitrose and an Iceland. Now, when I used to go into town quite a bit, I used to shop at Iceland quite regularly. I thought it was good value for money, and has some different things in. But now I just go there perhaps once every 6 weeks or so and stock up with a few things for the freezer. So I tend to do my shopping either the Aldi and Sainsbury combination or Tesco's. Asda and Morrison's are not in our area. They do both deliver, but I haven't done that. I just feel like shopping in my local area. I can find what I need. Likewise, Lidl. There is a Lidl within a half an hour drive, but I've never been over there because I just feel it's an unneeded trip when I have 3 major grocery stores in town. So, with all of that rambling, I went to Tesco's today. I spent £90 exactly, which is quite strange that it comes out an exact pound, which is what I would normally expect to spend for a full shop at Tesco. But then when I got home and started unpacking, I bought very little meat this week. So actually I do think people have been saying that it feels like the price of things has gone up a bit. I'm not sure that it necessarily has. I just think there's not as many offers. So I was noticing as I was going around, there's far less of the buy one, get one free and 2 for X amount. There's very little of that anywhere on anything. So I think that's probably more to do with it than the fact that the actual pricing's gone up, although I'm sure it has on some things. But I'll turn you around, I'll show you what I got, and then at the end, as always, I'll show you our meal plan for the coming week. Okay, so there is the sweep of everything we got just up to the corner today. We're just laughing at Licky because he's got this obsession with dandelions at the moment. We have some dandelions growing up in amongst the grass in our back garden and we feed those to him. And now every time the back door opens, he thinks he's going to get a dandelion. And Caleb just opened the door for me because it's quite warm in here and he started squeaking straight away. He just squeak, squeak, squeak. Thinks every time the door opens, somebody's bringing him a dandelion. So anyway, on to the shop. The only non-food items I got, I grabbed 2 bottles of hand soap, just because again it is quite hard to find. There were soaps on the shelves, but these were the only 2 options, apart from some of the really expensive branded ones. So I grabbed one of each just while I was there. I don't have any in the stock cupboard, but we do have soap at each of our sinks at the moment. So it wasn't like a matter of life or death that we don't have soap, but given that we all trying to wash our hands more often these days, I just didn't feel comfortable not having any in the cupboard, so I grabbed 2. My TV magazine, making good use of that at the moment. Couple of new shows starting this week that I'm really looking forward to, so looking forward to having a browse through that. Normal People, if you by the time this goes up, this will have started, but if you haven't watched it, it looks to be really good. The novel is really good that it's based on, so we shall see. A big bag of seed mix for the birds. They've been having the little bags which only last 2 or 3 days. We've got 2 feeders in our garden. This bag will last them hopefully all week. Crisps, I got some Skips. We haven't had those in a while, and a bag of mixed crisps. And then I got 2 packages of tortilla chips, which I need for one of our meals this week. A dozen eggs, our normal Kingsmill 50/50 loaf, and a batch of white bread rolls, burger buns, ketchup and barbecue sauce, 2 jars of salsa and 1 jar of jalapenos. So these are the ones I normally get. The salsa I usually buy the bigger tubs, which is the store's own brand, but they didn't have that. They only had these little jars of Old El Paso, so more expensive, and I needed 2. So that was, you know, little things like that soon start to add up. Some hoisin sauce, a big jar of hot dogs, some steak seasoning, the pepper and garlic one, plenty of cans. I haven't bought canned goods in a while, so 2 cans of vegetable chili, and meatballs in tomato sauce and a spaghetti bolognese, just as a couple of options for Caleb for lunch. We did the meatballs last week and he really liked them, so we shall see. 2 cans of baked beans, 1 can of black beans and 1 can of kidney beans, some refried beans, there's a theme here, and some pinto beans. And then fruit, canned fruit hadn't been on the shelves for a number of weeks anywhere, and there was a full range. So mandarin segments and peach slices. Then some mini rolls, these were on offer this week. For the biscuit tin, some shortbread fingers, chocolate digestives and ginger nuts. And then a package of the Rice Krispie squares. Again, I usually buy these when they're on offer, and these were £1 this week. And a bag of Star Mix just for some sweeties. Onto the fridge, I got a small semi-skim milk. There is a little bit left in the fridge. We have a large one in the freezer that Toney picked up when he popped into town during the week. So we'll use this one first, but then we've got the one in the freezer to use. 2 pots of sour cream, some mild cheese slices, a block of mature cheddar, some mini pork sausage rolls. Caleb asked for sausage rolls this week for some of his lunch bits. Some tube yogurts, a pack of prime cuts cooked ham. This is for a meal I'm making tonight. And then some wafer thin honey roast ham for sandwiches and things during the week. A little pack of pecorino grated cheese. 2 of these little snackers, again, just something a bit different to throw in at lunchtime for Caleb. One is cheese and crackers with mini chocolate cookies, and one has mini Oreos. And then we've got the ham, so he can make up his own like Lunchable from that. And a big bag of grated cheddar. Onto the freezer, some ice cream cones for Caleb, a big bag of chips. Haven't used pre-cut chips in a while. But something we had this week, I can't remember what it was now, and I thought, oh, I wish I just had a bag of chips instead of having to cut up potatoes. So I've got a bag to put in the freezer just to have. And then there were no hot dog buns, which I wanted in the bakery. I think all of the barbecue meats were out today, so they had a whole section that looked really good, actually, of all the different sorts of barbecue meats with this lovely weather we've got. But because of that, they had no hot dog buns at all in the bakery. But then when I was in the freezer aisle, I spotted these American style soft deli rolls. So I'm going to pop those into the freezer and we can use those for our hot dog meal. They'll be absolutely fine. Caleb got to choose what we have for dinner tomorrow for Sunday lunch or dinner, and he asked if he could have ribs. So one of his homework challenges for this week was to draw out a plate of his favourite food and then label everything in French. So looking up the French words for everything. And the meal he chose was ribs. So he's asked if we can recreate the meal that he drew out for his homework. So we're having ribs tomorrow. They didn't have any fresh ribs at all. They had some of the kind of pork, I don't know what they're called. In the States, they call them country style ribs. They're the kind of big pieces of rib that they're not like this sort of rib. They're thicker pieces of rib. I don't actually know. They say they're pork ribs on the package, but in the States they are specifically called country style ribs. They're thicker, they're meatier, and they're not little ribs on bones like this. But we wanted this sort, so I've got 2 of the pre-prepared New York style barbecue ribs. So Toney will have one of the racks and Caleb and I will have the other one between us. Then I got some Sizzler fillet burgers. We're having burgers again this week, and so Toney will have those while Caleb and I have beef burgers. A package of mince, some of these Mexican style pork shoulder steaks, again for Toney for one of our meals this week, and some streaky bacon. And we finished the big sack of potatoes we had, so I have had to buy some potatoes this week. Carrots, curly kale, some little gem lettuce and a round lettuce, a pack of salad tomatoes, some mushrooms, some mini corn on the cob, which is another element of Caleb's rib dinner, spring onions, a cucumber, a package of mixed peppers, some curly parsley, some grapes and some bananas. So I'm going to make with tonight's dinner a fruit salad to have with it. So I'm going to use grapes, bananas, strawberries, and then the tinned fruit, so the tinned mandarins and the tinned peaches, to make a really nice mixed fruit salad. And then the juice from the tinned fruit makes a nice kind of juice for the whole fruit salad. It stops the bananas turning brown. I might add a chopped apple in there as well. So just something a bit different to make up a tub of that. We'll have some with dinner tonight, and then we can keep some in the fridge for snacking on during the week. A bag of sweet apples, and then these I could not resist. So this big old tub of strawberries was £4, and usually we're paying two something for a small in Tesco for a smaller punnet of strawberries. So I thought this was really good value, but they look really delicious. Licky likes a strawberry as a treat. Caleb and I both eat strawberries, and Toney uses strawberries in his smoothies most days, so they will definitely get used. And I will put some of those into the fruit salad this evening. So that was what I picked up. So on to our meal plan. So tonight I'm going to make a ham and egg casserole, which is a breakfast casserole, which is quite a common thing to have in the States. Less common here in the UK. But essentially it's like ham, cheese, eggs and some seasonings kind of all mixed together and baked in a casserole. So it's like a baked omelette almost. But it's really tasty. It's sort of a brinner, but it's ideal if you want to have like a brunch or something, because you can mix it up the night before, keep it in the fridge and then just pop it in the oven when you get up. We often have one like at Christmas time when we're in that between Christmas and New Year, and that's what it really feels like at the moment, other than it's sunny and warm outside. Going to have that. Toney and I will have some baked beans with ours. I was going to have toast, but I'm going to use the croissants instead, and we'll have warm croissants with it. And then I'm going to make up some fruit salad as well to have on the side. So tomorrow we're having Caleb's meal, which is ribs, potatoes, peas and corn on the cob. And Monday I'm going to do a honey hoisin chicken. So this is a crock pot recipe, just really, really simple. Just a few ingredients in the crock pot, cooking for a few hours. And then the chicken sort of shreds up a bit like pulled chicken. And you can use it. It's really good actually on buns, so to make into like sandwiches. And then top it with a little bit of like nice crunchy coleslaw or some nice crunchy salad or something like that. But because we're having burgers the next day, I'm just going to serve it with rice and then some salad on the side. We'll have burgers on Tuesday. So we've got another pack of those muscle food burgers we had this week. They were really tasty. So Caleb and I will have those, and Toney will have the chicken burgers. The barbecue baked beans that I made last week, Toney really enjoyed those. He said they were the best baked beans I'd made. So I'm going to make those again, but I'm going to put some pinto beans in them as well. So just to up the bean content a little bit. But I will probably also do some of the chips with that because Caleb won't want the beans. Wednesday we're going to have Tex-Mex picky bits. So I just have a craving for some Tex-Mex food. So I'm going to make, I think, probably nachos with a taco seasoned meat on them, use some of the refried beans and some toppings. And then I think I'm going to make a chili cheese dip using the canned chili and some cream cheese. And then I'll make a southwestern salad, which is just, often do it in layers, but I'm going to do it on a plate kind of in lines so that each person can pick out the bits that they want from the salad. So that's my plan for Wednesday. Thursday we're going to have bacon wrapped hot dogs. So I might use the hot dogs in the jar, or I might use, I've got some sausages in the freezer just to see what we feel like on the day. But either way, they'll be wrapped in the streaky bacon before they're cooked and then topped with hot dog toppings. And again, I'll probably do a few chips or something with that. And then Friday night, we'll have a steak dinner. So again, we've got a couple more of the sirloin steaks that we had last night or Thursday night. They were absolutely delicious. Really, really good steak from Muscle Food. And so Toney will have those 2 Mexican pork steaks on that night. And then we'll do it with chips or potatoes, onion rings, peas, tomatoes, mushrooms, that sort of thing. So that's our plan for the week ahead. Thank you for joining us for this grocery haul. Again, as always, we hope you are all still well and following whatever the guidelines are in the area that you live. And we look forward to seeing you back here on the SeeSaw soon.